If you're over 60, there's something you need to hear today, and it might completely change the way you look at the food in your kitchen. For years, we've been told that seeds are healthy, that they're natural, packed with fiber, full of nutrients, and good for the heart. And for the most part, that sounds reasonable. After all, seeds come from plants. They're recommended by dietitians. They're labeled as superfoods on grocery store shelves. But what if I told you that some of the most common seeds people over 60 eat every single day are quietly working against their health? What if the very foods you believe are protecting your heart, joints, and digestion are actually accelerating inflammation, worsening fatigue, and contributing to the exact problems you're trying to avoid? This isn't fear-mongering. This isn't hype, and it's not about eliminating all seeds. The truth is more nuanced and far more important, because once you cross 60, your body doesn't process food the same way it did at 40 or even 50. Your digestion slows, your ability to detox weakens, your inflammatory response becomes more sensitive, and the margin for dietary mistakes becomes much smaller. Foods that once caused no issue can suddenly trigger joint pain, bloating, fatigue, brain fog, or stubborn inflammation that never seems to go away. Here's the problem: most nutrition advice completely ignores age. It treats a 25-year-old athlete and a 70-year-old retiree as if their bodies function the same way. They don't. And when it comes to seeds, that misunderstanding can quietly sabotage your health. In today's video, you're going to learn something most people over 60 have never been told. You're going to discover the 4 seeds that can quietly harm your health if you eat them regularly, even though they're marketed as healthy. And just as importantly, you'll learn the 4 seeds that can actually support your joints, reduce inflammation, improve digestion, and help you feel stronger, clearer, and more energized again. And here's what makes this especially important: one of the worst seeds on the list is sitting in most kitchens right now. It's in salads, it's in snacks, it's in so-called heart-healthy foods. Millions of seniors eat it every day without realizing the damage it may be doing beneath the surface. On the other hand, one of the best seeds for aging bodies is rarely talked about, even though research shows it can improve mobility, reduce pain, and support brain function. This video isn't about fear. It's about clarity. It's about understanding how your body has changed and how to feed it in a way that supports healing instead of silently working against you. And before we go any further, I want you to think about something. Have you noticed more joint stiffness than you used to have? Do your knees or hips ache when you get up in the morning? Do you feel bloated or heavy after meals, even when you eat healthy? Do you get tired more easily than you used to? If you answered yes to any of these, the seeds you're eating could be playing a much bigger role than you realize. Now, let me be very clear about something. This is not about cutting out entire food groups or becoming afraid of food. It's about understanding which seeds your aging body tolerates well, and which ones it no longer does. Because once you reach your 60s and beyond, the rules change. Your metabolism slows, your stomach acid decreases, your ability to break down certain fats and fibers becomes less efficient, your inflammatory response becomes more reactive, and your body becomes far less forgiving of daily dietary stress. That's why some seeds that are perfectly fine for younger people can become problematic for seniors. And that's why blindly following nutrition trends can backfire. In this video, we'll walk through each of the 4 seeds you should strongly consider avoiding, starting with one that almost everyone assumes is harmless. Then, we'll flip the script and reveal the 4 seeds that can actually help you feel stronger, more mobile, and more energized, often within weeks. Everything you'll hear is based on real nutritional science, clinical observations, and what we've seen repeatedly in older adults. No fads, no extreme diets, just practical, realistic information you can actually use. And as we go through this, I want you to pay attention to how your own body responds. Think about what you eat daily. Think about what you snack on. Think about what you've been told is healthy for years. Because by the end of this video, you may realize that one small change could make a bigger difference than any supplement or medication you've tried. We'll begin in just a moment with the first seed you should seriously reconsider. A seed that's often praised for its vitamin content, yet has been linked to increased inflammation and joint discomfort in older adults when eaten regularly. But before we start, take a second and ask yourself this: if something you eat every day was quietly making you feel older, weaker, or more inflamed, wouldn't you want to know? Let's start with one of the most common seeds found in kitchens and snack bowls across the world: sunflower seeds. On the surface, sunflower seeds seem harmless, even healthy. They're loaded with vitamin E, a fat-soluble antioxidant often associated with skin health and heart protection. They're tossed in salads, sprinkled on yogurt, and baked into health bars that promise energy and longevity. But here's the truth: many people over 60 aren't aware of. Sunflower seeds are extremely high in omega-6 fatty acids. Omega-6 are essential in small amounts. They help with cell signaling and immune function, but balance is everything. In young adults, an occasional handful is generally fine. For older adults, especially those eating these seeds daily, this balance can tilt dangerously out of proportion. Research shows that the ideal omega-6 to omega-3 ratio is around 4:1, but for seniors consuming sunflower seeds every day, this ratio can spike to 18:1 or even higher. What does that mean in plain terms? It means your body starts producing excess inflammatory molecules. Chronic inflammation is like a slow, burning fire. It doesn't always make noise, but over time it damages blood vessels, stiffens joints, and contributes to heart problems, fatigue, and even cognitive decline. One study published in Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who regularly consumed high omega-6 foods like sunflower seeds had significantly elevated markers of systemic inflammation, particularly CRP, a key blood biomarker. Now, here's a story that perfectly illustrates this. Margaret, a 72-year-old retired librarian, came to us complaining of constant fatigue and swollen ankles. She was otherwise healthy, walked daily, and cooked most of her meals at home. When we reviewed her diet, we found she was eating sunflower seeds every day, in her granola, salads, and snacks. Her blood tests revealed her CRP levels were 3 times above the safe range. Once we removed the sunflower seeds and introduced a balance of chia and flax, she noticed remarkable improvements within weeks. Swelling decreased, energy returned, and her walking endurance jumped from 10 minutes to nearly 40 minutes without fatigue. The takeaway here is not that sunflower seeds are inherently evil. It's that quantity and context matter, and for seniors, moderation can mean the difference between comfort and chronic inflammation. Next on the seeds to avoid list is one that hides in plain sight: cottonseed oil. Unlike sunflower seeds, you may not even recognize it in your diet. It's hidden in processed snacks, baked goods, and even some so-called healthy salad dressings. Cottonseed oil contains a natural plant toxin called gossypol. This compound protects the cotton plant from pests, but in humans it can interfere with heart function, block calcium uptake in muscle cells, and impair mitochondria, the energy-producing machinery inside cells. Seniors are particularly vulnerable because detoxification slows with age and their electrolyte balance is more fragile. We've seen this repeatedly in practice. Joan, a 70-year-old retired nurse, switched to a low-fat diet to reduce cholesterol and started consuming more whole grain crackers and low-calorie salad dressings. Within a month, she developed constant fatigue, muscle spasms, and fluttering sensations in her chest. Her ECG was borderline and routine blood tests didn't explain her symptoms. After auditing her diet, we discovered cottonseed oil was a top ingredient in almost everything she ate. Once we removed it and replaced it with avocado, olive oil, and roasted chickpeas, her symptoms resolved in just a few weeks. This story highlights a critical point: some seeds may not appear on your plate as seeds at all. They can be lurking in oils, processed foods, and condiments, silently affecting your energy, heart health, and muscle function. Number 2 on the toxic list is sesame seeds, but not all sesame seeds are created equal. White sesame seeds, tahini, and highly processed sesame products are rich in phytates, compounds that bind essential minerals like calcium, magnesium, and zinc. For younger adults, this might not matter much. But for seniors, whose mineral absorption is already compromised due to age, related decreases in stomach acid, and digestive efficiency, consuming high phytate foods regularly can exacerbate mineral deficiencies. Over time, this contributes to osteoporosis, weaker bones, and slower recovery from injuries. Furthermore, sesame has become a recognized allergen, with many adults experiencing mild to moderate immune responses. Symptoms in seniors often manifest as low-grade fatigue, rashes, sinus congestion, or subtle digestive issues that are rarely traced back to food. Linda, a 69-year-old retired nurse, had struggled with persistent joint pain, bloating, and dry skin patches for 6 years. After eliminating dairy, gluten, and red meat without improvement, we tested for sesame sensitivity. She had been consuming hummus daily, made with tahini. Once sesame was removed and replaced with safer fats like avocado and walnuts, she experienced dramatic improvements within 2 weeks. Her skin cleared, bloating resolved, and joint discomfort decreased noticeably. Her experience illustrates that the health halo of seeds can sometimes obscure hidden dangers, particularly for aging adults. The lesson is simple: it's not about avoiding all seeds, but knowing which ones your body can safely handle and which ones it cannot. Now we come to perhaps the most surprising, toxic seed of all: chia. Marketed as the ultimate superfood, chia is praised for its fiber, omega-3 content, and versatility in smoothies, puddings, and energy bars. But for seniors, chia seeds carry a hidden risk when consumed dry or without sufficient water. Chia can absorb up to 12 times its weight in liquid. In a healthy, younger digestive system, this is usually not a problem. In seniors with slower gut motility, esophageal narrowing, or conditions like IBS or GERD, it can cause serious blockages, constipation, or even choking hazards. Numerous case studies have reported seniors developing esophageal impaction or severe constipation from improperly hydrated chia seeds. Roberto, a 74-year-old former truck driver with a history of acid reflux, began adding dried chia to his cereal and smoothies. Within a week, he experienced severe bloating, sharp stomach pains, and constipation that lasted 5 days. His abdomen became visibly distended, and he was exhausted. After removing chia and switching to soaked flax seeds, his symptoms resolved within days. This is not to say chia is dangerous when properly prepared. When soaked, ground, or mixed with adequate liquid, chia provides significant fiber and omega-3 benefits. The key is preparation and portion control. Seniors need to start small, hydrate seeds fully, and monitor how their body responds. The takeaway: even celebrated superfoods can become problematic without the right context for aging bodies. By now, you may be noticing a pattern. The seeds that can harm seniors share common characteristics: high omega-6 content, hidden toxins, or compounds that interfere with digestion and nutrient absorption. They're not evil, but they're not always safe for an aging system. Awareness is the first step to preventing silent inflammation, joint pain, fatigue, and even subtle cognitive decline. The next step is learning which seeds actually support your health. That's where the second half of this story becomes exciting. While these 4 seeds can cause problems if consumed improperly or in excess, 4 other seeds can actively improve your health after 60. These seeds reduce inflammation, support cardiovascular function, enhance digestion, and provide essential minerals. They don't just maintain health, they help reverse some of the damage caused by inflammation, poor nutrient absorption, and age-related declines. And the best part, they're simple, affordable, and easy to incorporate into your daily routine. Let's start with black sesame seeds. You might be thinking, wait a minute, didn't we just talk about sesame? Yes, but here's the distinction. Black sesame seeds are unhulled, unrefined, and typically consumed in smaller, medicinal doses in Eastern medicine practices. Unlike white sesame or tahini, black sesame retains its outer shell, mineral content, and naturally occurring lignans, plant compounds with powerful antioxidant properties. Lignans help combat oxidative stress, support cardiovascular health, and even improve cognitive function. Studies show that daily intake of black sesame seeds can improve memory recall, reduce systolic blood pressure, and enhance overall vascular health in older adults. Siam, a 70-year-old retired math teacher, had been experiencing low energy, borderline high blood pressure, and occasional forgetfulness. By incorporating 2 teaspoons of ground black sesame seeds with honey in warm water each morning, she noticed remarkable improvements. Within a month, her focus sharpened, she remembered names from decades ago, and her blood pressure dropped from 142 to 88 to 120 to 80 without medication. The key here is proper sourcing and preparation: unhulled, ground, and consumed as part of a balanced diet. This seed demonstrates that not all seeds are created equal, and that preparation matters just as much as the type. Next up are flax seeds, often overlooked despite being nutritional powerhouses. Flax seeds are rich in alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3 and lignans. These compounds help reduce inflammation, protect heart health, and support hormone balance, which can be especially beneficial for postmenopausal seniors. Ground flax seeds are absorbable, unlike whole flax seeds, which often pass through the digestive tract undigested. Research shows that regular consumption of 30 grams of ground flax daily can reduce systolic blood pressure, lower cholesterol, and improve bowel regularity. Seniors who struggle with stiff arteries, constipation, or elevated cholesterol often experience significant improvements within weeks of consistent use. The lesson: small, properly prepared seeds can make a major difference. Now that we've explored flax seeds, it's time to introduce another nutritional powerhouse that's often overlooked but essential for anyone over 60: pumpkin seeds. Also known as pepitas, pumpkin seeds are loaded with zinc, magnesium, and healthy fats, making them one of the most nutrient-dense foods you can eat. What makes pumpkin seeds particularly valuable for seniors is their ability to address common age-related deficiencies. Zinc is crucial for immune function, wound healing, and muscle repair. Magnesium supports over 300 enzymatic reactions, including those that regulate muscle contraction, sleep quality, and nerve signaling. Many seniors have low levels of these minerals due to reduced stomach acid, poor absorption, or dietary gaps, and the effects are often misattributed to just getting older. Let me give you a real-world example. Adil, a 73-year-old retired construction worker, came to us with persistent leg cramps at night, restless sleep, and tingling sensations in his calves. Despite drinking plenty of water and taking calcium supplements, nothing seemed to help. Testing revealed low magnesium and borderline zinc deficiency.